Stop me if you've heard this one. A promising game from developer FromSoftware, made in association with Sony Computer Entertainment, is cancelled for US release. Reasons given: the double whammy of the game's niche genre and poor graphics, which, because of this, it was feared, would lead to a lack of market appeal. In non-corporate speak, Sony didn't want to bet on a game they believed wouldn't sell in the US, especially from a AA game developer. No, this video isn't introducing a Demon's Souls LP. Demon's Souls succeeded internationally despite a disastrous Tokyo Game Show exhibition and Sony's ensuing unwillingness to publish it outside of the domestic market. This is thanks to online Let's Plays, and because the PS3 is both largely region-free, and even if the game itself wasn't region-free, regions are shared between the US and Asia. Word of mouth and the ease of importing it made Demon's Souls a sleeper cult hit. So much so that it caught the eyes of both Atlas US and Bandai Namco, who would eventually publish in the US and EU, respectively. This is about a game that didn't get that chance to succeed in the West. This is about 2003's Shadow Tower Abyss, a reboot of 1998's Shadow Tower. Just before its release at the Tokyo Game Show of 2003, GameSpot writer Hirohiko Niizumi had some hands-on time with the game. Niizumi comments on the game's 500 different weapons and items, as well as the dismemberment system in combat. They also compared it to Capcom's Monster Hunter. Following the success of FromSoftware's early Generation 6 titles, Evergrace, Armored Core 2, and Eternal Ring, FromSoftware announced their rather ambitious 2002 slate of games in a 2001 edition of Famitsu. Some of these games would get in the United States, like Armored Core 3, Murakumo, and Rune, which is named Lost Kingdoms in the United States. Others announced here would be cancelled outright. including the interesting sounding Code Inferno and Gold Star Mountain for GameCube. Shadow Tower Abyss was one of these announced titles, but would be delayed to the back half of 2003, along with a veritable renaissance of titles from FromSoftware, including Armored Core 3, Echo Knight Nebula, which is named Echo Knight Beyond in the United States, and Kuon. As was customary for FromSoftware, they've self-published Shadow Tower Abyss in Japan, and their hype cycle was in full swing. A promotional poster from the time shows off a key art of the entrance to the Shadow Tower and a shadowy image of Rudufan, the mysterious scythe-wielding NPC who was in the original Shadow Tower. There was also a first pressing that came with cues, the currency used within the tower, and a large cloth map of the different floors of the Shadow Tower. Print advertising in the Japanese gaming press played within the game's first-person perspective, but generally repeated the promotional poster's offers. Articles focusing on various aspects of the game world and gameplay flowed fleetly, with a readiness that would make modern FromSoftware fans envious. Dengenki produced a large booklet focusing on FromSoftware games coming out in 2003 and 2004, perhaps the most ambitious release schedule for FromSoftware yet, as they would release upwards of 6 different titles in about a year and a half, most of them for PlayStation 2. This 3-page spread dedicated to Shadow Tower Abyss would, like other articles, go over the system, world, weapons, and of course, Rudufan. In addition, there was also an interview with producer Toshifumi Nabeshima. Like most FromSoftware titles that made it to the United States, localization and publication fell to AGETEC, which stands for ASCII Game Entertainment Technology and was the American arm of ASCII Entertainment, which has maintained an intimate relationship with FromSoftware since its inception as a game developer to the present day. Mark Johnson was the producer on the project, and as he later told Peter Klepek, the localization scripts were finished. Packaging was the only thing left to complete. Unfortunately, this is when Sony Computer Entertainment America decided to not go ahead with the project and canceled it. According to Johnson, he fought this decision, but admitted that once Sony decided to cancel something, it was final. As an aside, this was perhaps not only the only point of friction with AGETEC and Sony, Johnson having expressed frustration at Sony's dictates for their release of Space Channel 5, amongst others. This cancellation should have been the end of it. Shadow Tower Abyss would have become a rather inscrutable, Japan-only release. AGETEC would have simply gone to the next game on their docket, which turns out to have been FromSoftware's Echo Knight Beyond, or Nebula. However, AGETEC's Mark Johnson did something extraordinary. He offered Shadow Tower Abyss's completed script to the masses for free, if they emailed him for it. Unfortunately, it seems as though this script has been lost. It would take 8 years for a fan translation to be released to the masses. Releasing in 2011 and updated in 2013, a fan translation of Shadow Tower Abyss by Mort of Swoonlight and John Osborne, swordofmoonlight.com forum users, was released. Their patch injects this translated script into a ripped ISO of the game and paved the way for this game to become a cult classic in its own right. Over the last 5 to 10 years, players of the game have uncovered a gem and an intriguing predecessor to Demon's Souls, and more than just their shared bad luck and their winding roads to our hands.